All right, so now we are going to attempt the shape tween. Okay, so we're just going to do it on this, and you're going to see it's not going to work very well. But I'm going to show it to you just so you can see it. What I'm going to do actually first is make a new layer so you get a rough idea. We'll just call this shape example. Okay, so the way the shape tween works is that you have a shape. So I'm just going to draw, let's say, a rectangle. Okay, and it has to be a shape, has to be like a vector. Okay, let me get rid of the lines because that'll be a little bit easier. And what you do is you put, you could take this and like manipulate it. So let's say we try and make it look like a circle or something, or we'll just, oops, and we'll even move it a little, see what happens. Go like this, right? All right, and I forgot to keyframe it, so good for me. Okay, so we go here. We're gonna hit F6, okay. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to change the shape a little. Okay, so we'll say something like that. Then you do is you right click. It's kind of like the classic tween. Then we go shape tween. And what it's going to do is it's going to blend from one shape to the other. And see how well that worked? It looks pretty good. That's actually not too bad. That's usable. However, it becomes a little more difficult when you try to do something at all any more fancy. So let's go ahead and we'll hit F6 here, and let's do something more. So we'll do like this. Let's grab that. That's not very good, actually. Let's grab this. I don't really want to do that to it, but just trying to make something happen. So let's do this as well, just so you get an idea. We'll just put this here. It'll just combine, but that way it's all one shape still. Oh, hang on. Delete that. There you go. Now it'll be one shape. Okay. Now watch what happens when I try to convert that to that shape tween. That actually did pretty good. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. That isn't too terrible. But a lot of times what'll happen is it does not do at all what you think it's going to. It works well with simple shapes, but anything that's even moderately more complicated, it will not do a good job with. Okay, so that's the idea of it. But basically, you just have a shape, and then you go to something else. So you can even do something where, let's try this. So let's undo all that, and I'm just going to do wholly new shapes, just so you get an idea. Let's see what happens if we try to go from a straight up square to a straight up circle. Let's take this, delete it. Let's go here, oval, right click, create shape tween. And that did okay too. All right, well, you'll see it's not going to work well here. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to delete that layer. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to do the N. Okay, now if you look, the N is a special case where it's actually text, so it treats it a little bit differently than most of the other objects. It's kind of like a symbol, but it's not. In this case, if you might have noticed, it actually has to be just a drawing. It can't be anything other than a vector image that's inside the program itself. So it can't be a symbol. It can't be this. It has to be something else. So what we got to do is actually just convert this to a drawing. It's not create outlines like it would be in InDesign or Illustrator. What you do is just have it selected and you go to modify and you just click on break apart and that will convert it now. You can see now it's a shape. Okay. And if I hit A to get the direct select tool and oops, control and scroll in, you'll see all the points and you still can't see them very well, right? It's kind of a lot of them actually in this one. So a little more than I was hoping for. All right. But let's just go back to V to regular select and control scroll out and space bar. Okay, so what I want to do is kind of like what we did before. I want to start this at 2 seconds. So I'm just going to click on this frame and drag it to here. So it starts at 2 seconds. So there's nothing. And then it's here. And then we're just going to do a shape tween. Okay, so this is where I want it to end. So I'm actually going to go to 3 seconds and we'll hit F6, which just make another example of it. And then I'm going to take this first one. And here you can do whatever you want. You could just completely delete this drawing and put in like draw a weird shape. You could just manipulate this. That's usually what I like to do. Let's see if we can make this work. It doesn't always work the way you think it's going to. That's the problem. Let's see if we can make this work. So I'm actually going to go to the direct select tool, and that way I can grab these bits here. I'm going to grab the top ones, and I'm going to, let's say, go like this. Oops, that was not what I wanted. Let's see if we can grab. Okay. So, and we'll go like that. And then we'll grab, oops, I want you. We should probably just lock these. Lock. And we'll lock this one too. And then we'll grab, come on. Okay, we'll grab these and go this way. Imagine I'm doing a good job. I know it's kind of hard. And we'll grab these and we'll just make it like a line or something. Okay, so that looks great, I think. Don't you think? Okay. Something like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to I'm going to take the whole thing and I'm just going to move it up and out of there. Or actually, we'll go from below this time and put it down here. Okay, so that. And then the next frame is this. And let's see what happens. I'm going to right click and go create shape tween. And you can see it did that. Now, oftentimes what you can do as well is this, although I don't honestly have a bunch of luck with it doing this. So what we could do is I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to go here. I'm going to select this, Control C, Control Shift V, and we'll put it down here. And let's go ahead and do shape tween. And it did okay. So it moved it up, but I want it to obviously not be the same thing. So what we're going to do is, let's say in here, I'm just going to hit F6. And I'm actually going to delete that. And let's do this. Let's do Q. And let's see if we flip it this way and rotate it and see what it does. So it's going to go wonk, wonk. So, all right, that's actually kind of neat. But what you can do is you can try to guide it a little bit. So for instance, I could take this, guy. Let's do Control C, put it in here. Let's do Control V, or I'm sorry, F6 or F7, make blank keyframe. Control Shift V. And what I did last time was I flipped it, so we could try to put one in between and go like this. So you can see it's kind of guiding it a little bit better. All right, so now it kind of looks like it's slinking across. But you can play around with it. Honestly, what I usually do is I just play around with it and hopefully get something. Most of the time, what it works well with is if you're doing something where, like, I need a flag. So I'll do something like this. Oops. I'll do something like this. And then like on a shape tween, then later on do the other, then like pull it up this way. You know what I mean? And then have it blend back and forth. Things like that it does well, but other things not as much. Okay, so now we got that one slinking, and that is the shape tween. You can also change the colors. You can do all sorts of things with it. It's kind of up to you. But I find it, generally speaking, the least useful. All right, we'll call that good.